Hey, thank you for joining us for this episode of Springdale Today. I'm your host, Mary Jordan. Today we're chatting with Springdale Public Schools Coordinated School Health and Treehouse Pantry Coordinator, Janet Hornberger, Cobblestone Farms Garden Manager, Rodrigo Menocal, and Food Corps Educator, Kerry Carpenter. We're going to be discussing food insecurity in Northwest Arkansas today and how Treehouse Pantry is showing up every day to help our families in Springdale schools. Thank you guys for being here today.
Yeah, glad to be here.
When I was a journalist out in the real world, I wrote the very first story about Treehouse Pantry when you guys opened up. So I was so excited to see the work that you guys are doing here, and I'm really excited about this conversation today. And Kerry, I was hoping that you could set the stage for us and tell us a little bit about what food insecurity looks like in Springdale schools for our families.
Yes, I'd be happy to. Thanks for welcoming me here. Well, first of all, food insecurity, what that really means is not having enough to live the life you're meant to live a healthy life. Unfortunately, Arkansas now ranks #1 for food insecurity in the nation. So we are looking at pretty serious problem in the state of Arkansas, and it's not really a problem of scarcity of food as much as it is cost of food, access. They did an estimate of the percentage of the population experiencing hunger in Arkansas and said in 2023 that it was about 19% of the population. But recently, a statewide assessment was done that said, that published in October of 2025, said the numbers are closer to almost 30% of people in the state experiencing food insecurity. So,
Wow, that's very sobering.
Yeah, and so for me as a food corps educator at Walker Elementary in the Springdale School District, that means out of 563 people at Walker Elementary, we're talking about 140 children that are dealing with hunger and food insecurity each day. So it's pretty significant.
Yeah, 140 too many, right?
Yes,
and that's just one
Agreed.
school. And Janet, to that end, what can you tell us about how and when the Treehouse Pantry started and how it's evolved as it's continued to grow and flourish?
Okay, this is the Treehouse Pantry's 5th year in operation, and the idea was to combine all of the little small pantries that schools had in their buildings, and not all the schools had them, and they tried to help families out when they could, but if we brought it all together and concentrated it in one space, we could expand our scope of families that we were able to reach and also bring in community partners and stuff that could help and really just do a lot more in one location, centrally located within the district.
That's amazing. And then, Rodrigo, you and Cobblestone Farms have helped to create a fresh produce opportunity here at Treehouse Pantry. What can you tell us about what that partnership with the pantry looks like?
Well, Mary, thank you for having us here today. Like Kerry mentioned earlier, I think food insecurity here in Arkansas, it's a very serious problem. I believe 19% of the population don't have access right now to fresh and healthy produce. So I think that's the main reason why, as Cobblestone Farms, we decided to start this beautiful partnership with Treehouse Pantry. It's a pilot program that, we aim to transform unused spaces or lots, into fully productive farms, like the ones we started here at the Treehouse Pantry this summer. Because we truly believe that if we all work together, not just us, but also the community, right? Volunteers, all of us are in this together. We can significantly reduce food insecurity here. So the way we work is, as Cobblestone Farms, we put the expertise, the knowledge, and Treehouse Pantry, puts the resources, the logistics, the land. So by combining all of these things together, then we're going to be able to produce for next year close to 5,000 pounds of fresh produce for our communities. Yeah.
Wow. And the garden was just established this year, is that accurate?
Correct. Yeah. This, we had to build the farm from scratch this summer. I got transferred here from Fayetteville. Our main location is in Fayetteville, Cobblestone Farms. And so, I started here back in July. So I've been here for, half a year now?
Yes, and we started the preparation of the land the school year before.
Very good. And so in addition to fresh produce, Janet, what's the full scope of what Treehouse Pantry offers families?
Okay, we have the Feed and Read bags, which offers books inside the Feed and Read bags, so we can promote literacy as well as nutrition. We have the Samaritan Feet, where we can provide shoes and socks to our students. We have school supplies, hygiene products, limited household products, some essential clothing, which might include the shoes, the socks, coats. We could always use different sizes of underwear and elastic waist pants because they're the most forgiving in the needs that we might have. And we also have our FIT liaison here, who is over our families in transition, and so she helps with those families. And we have community clinic patient advocacy person here that helps families with their health needs and applications and things.
That's so much in one spot for families to take advantage of. And we are a school district, so I'm wondering if you can help me connect. How is food insecurity, providing food, clothing, meeting the whole needs of the child, how is that translating into health and academic success for students?
Okay, our mission of the Treehouse Pantry is to remove barriers to students' academic and social success. And providing food and now nutrition food makes that a more balanced way to help kids have the food that they need, because if they're hungry, they can't learn. They can't develop properly. They're hyper vigilant about when are they going to eat, what are they going to get to eat. And so if we can help provide that most basic need, we can help them in their academics as well.
I guess if you're not thinking and distracted about being hungry, you can focus on your schoolwork.
Or even the hygiene products. You know, if they don't have deodorant and they're going to school stinky and they're worried everybody's smelling them, that's a deterrent to actually being able to concentrate and learn your lessons.
Rodrigo, what can you tell us about the farm, how it operates and how you're getting that food from the soil onto students' tables?
Yeah, it definitely takes a lot of planning. I'm focusing on growing produce that it's easy to grow, that is nutrient dense, and that it doesn't take a lot of time to grow. I'm trying to grow crops as quickly as possible. As I mentioned, like the goal is to grow 5,000 pounds next year. And so yeah, I harvest almost every day to make sure that we have like available produce ready for delivery. We have deliveries on Tuesdays and Thursdays.
Yes,
Correct.
the Treehouse
Yeah.
Pantry delivers to Tuesdays and Thursdays, and we've also been taking the produce on Wednesdays to car rider lines and handing it out directly to parents and families.
How would families find out about that? When you car rider lines, is it at the school?
At the school.
Oh, okay, so they basically talk to their school office and find out more information?
Well, we have a sign-up sheet sent out, and we go to certain schools that have signed up, and we'll try to spread the love all around as much as we can.
Okay. And Treehouse Pantry, you have shelves of canned goods and items. What's the value of introducing fresh produce to families in addition to shelf-safe items?
Right. It helps with the nutrition, balanced nutrition for the students, which also helps with their academic learning, their attendance, it just overall well-being of the students. It helps, and they really like it. Our families really like the fresh produce. They would prefer to eat the fresh produce, and so we're happy to be able to provide that to them.
We are chatting with Springdale Public Schools Coordinated School Health and Treehouse Pantry Coordinator Janet Hornberger, Cobblestone Farms Garden Manager Rodrigo Menocal, and Food Corps Educator Kerry Carpenter, and we're talking about food insecurity in Northwest Arkansas, particularly Springdale schools. Kerry, can you share a story or a time where you saw families just really benefit? There was no way that you could question the value of what you're doing for families just based on what you saw and observed.
Well, I would love to talk about what I saw when I first came to the Treehouse Garden, because our 4 food educators that are in the cohort in the Springdale area came here for a meeting with Janet and Rodrigo, and we got to tour the garden. And I took pictures that I sent to my kids with a message that said, this is not an AI-generated image, because that garden is so beautiful and everything looks fake. It's so perfect. So what came to my mind was how providing fresh food is really important, but providing quality, beautiful rainbow chard that's all these different colors, that just brightens your day just to look at it, the beauty of it, is changing the way families are interacting with food. And if you've never tried Rainbow Shard and the first time you try it, it's this beautiful, flavorful, nutritious experience that is going to change how you interact with that food for the rest of your life. So you're going to try it the next time. People don't have the luxury right now with limited resources to experiment at the grocery store, right? They go to the grocery store and they buy what they know their families will eat, what's inexpensive, trying to make, the budget work. And so if you have had the opportunity to try something so wonderful and nutritious, you now can trust that, you can bring that home and it's not going to waste. So that really had an impact on me. Just seeing that was just a magical thing. So.
Jen, is there a moment you could think of where you really saw the impact for the Treehouse Pantry on district families?
Yes, I have a couple actually. When we were giving away fresh produce at one of the schools, one of the little boys was able to carry the bag, and before he even got to the car, he was tearing pieces of the leaf off and eating it with a big smile on his face. So that was one happy little boy. And then another is I've heard just the gratitude that people have, and sometimes even with tears in their eyes, that how much it means to them that there's a place that they can come to and that we can help.
How do you help families have dignity in a situation like that? Nobody's coming to the Treehouse Pantry because they necessarily want to be in the situation. So how's the Treehouse Pantry really helping families have dignity, ownership, and respect through a situation like that?
Well, they get to work with their social worker, counselors, and nurses at their schools. And so it's not necessarily where they have to come here. But we when they do, of course, we welcome them, glad to have them here, and we share what we can. We've also had cultural liaisons work with us and UAMS with the cultural preference toolkit and things like that. So we try to tailor the bags that we send out to the culture that they are, so that we can not give something to somebody that we know that culture does not eat.
So beyond the sheer volume of food, how do you guys gauge the success of something like this beyond what you're sending out the door?
Okay. Our vision is community partners equal community success. And one of the ways that we can gauge the success of the Treehouse Pantry beyond the pounds of food or the numbers of people that we feed is community partners that want to come and take part and help support us. When they come and visit the Treehouse Pantry and they see what we're doing, they get excited about it. And they go, oh, I want to be a part of that. And so that's one of the ways. Also, other school districts hear about what we're doing. They come and visit, and they want to emulate what we're doing in their school districts. So that's another successful aspect.
And are you guys seeing impacts on student health and in community engagement through these endeavors?
Oh yeah,
How so?
I think more and more people are becoming more interested in their health, especially after what happened in 2020 with the pandemic. And more people want to learn how to grow their own food and learn where the food comes from. So I think that's a big factor when it comes to for people coming here to the farm and volunteer and learn. Also because they want to get healthier, they want to disconnect from their weekly routines. I was one of them in the past. I used to work in an office environment and I got sick, but thanks to farming, I got my health back. So I know that it works. It's true, so more and more people want that, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Janet, what about the future for the Treehouse Pantry? What's the biggest challenges it's facing, and what opportunities for growth do you see for it?
Okay, well, we have grown quite a bit. When we first started doing our drive-through food giveaways, we started signing up 600 families, then it went to 800, then it went to 1,000. And we've expanded this year to include lockers outside, so families can come to the Treehouse Pantry and pick up their bags of food at their convenience, whether according to their work schedules or their transportation schedules that they have available. And we're always looking to expand and grow and learn more. We go to other pantries so that we can see what they're doing. It's like, oh, that's a good idea. We want to use that here. And we're always also equally want to share what we're doing as well. But the biggest things that we have is space and funding. those are the challenges. The biggest opportunity we have is more community, community partners equal community success, and so we can expand our capacity to serve more families.
So how can people in Northwest Arkansas get involved and contribute to the mission here?
Okay, the Treehouse Pantry is always interested in having volunteer opportunities at drive-through food giveaways. We have like 35 to 50 people here volunteering, students that come. So we can have people volunteer to supervise lunch. We could have people volunteer to provide lunch that day for them. We have, you could hold a food drive at your workplace or in your neighborhood. You can volunteer in the garden. You can also donate food, hygiene products, essential clothing, underwear, elastic waist pants, and we always accept donations of monetary value.
And families, if they're looking for assistance from the Treehouse Pantry, how would they go about obtaining that?
Okay, families that are looking for assistance, talk with their social worker, counselor, or nurse at one of their student schools. They don't have to go to all of them or talk to all of them. Usually it's the social worker, and we like to do that so the social worker can visit with the family and assess, other needs that they may have and be able to provide resources beyond just the food. We're here to help get over the crisis at the moment, but there may be other things that they could use assistance with as well. And so then the social worker, counselor, or nurse sends us an electronic referral. We fill it, send it back to the school so the family can pick up there because it's generally closer to them than here. They can utilize the lockers, and in some instances, we do home deliveries.
Okay, and is it open to Springdale family schools?
Yes, we serve our enrolled students and their families and our staff.
So what am I missing, guys? What part of this conversation is there to still have that I didn't consider before we got together today?
I think from the food corps perspective, what we do in the schools where there's a food corps member or an educator is we are trying to help families maximize the use of the food that they get from the grocery store, the pantry. How do they enjoy the food? How do they make sure their kids will eat the food? Just developing more food literacy, an understanding of ways that you could serve that food, make it the most nutritious that it can be, and trying to connect students and their families to activities like container gardening and saving seeds and using food scraps. We have a spring family planting event planned that we're working on, that we are hoping to invite family members to come out and do some planting with their students in containers that we have recycled from the cafeteria. So our cafeteria child nutrition workers have been saving massive numbers of tomato sauce cans and other things that they've opened up that we're cleaning and sanding down and making available for the kids to decorate and then the families to plant, so that, as Rodrigo said, families want to learn how to grow things and they don't always have very much space to do it in. So helping them understand how much you can actually grow in a small space, even something as small as a container, could be impactful in their food independence. So I think that's something that Food Corps is trying to do, and just being a community partner with amazing agencies like Treehouse.
I'm a big fan of container gardening, and all of our beds are raised or in containers, and the amount of produce just for my two-person family that we produce every year is pretty amazing. Right. So and I wouldn't have known I could do it until I had an opportunity to actually accomplish it. Anything else that is relevant to this conversation that we're not considering? Rodrigo, Janet, anything to add?
I would say at the end of the day, our ultimate goal is to have a healthier and thriving community. But unfortunately, there are things nowadays that are preventing people to be healthy. Like, for instance, I call them like silent epidemics. I'll just mention three real quick: sedentarism, or not knowing how to eat healthy foods, and also like information overload using our phones. Let's say, we're on our phones many hours throughout the day, and that has, I would say, deteriorating our health. So I just encourage your audience to, come to the farm and disconnect, and be out there in nature and, moving their bodies and learning about, how to eat healthy foods. It's going to be really good for them. Yeah.
Awesome. And thank you for opening up that opportunity for families. We appreciate it.
So I'd just like to say that we're all part of the school district family, the Springdale School family, and that's the heart of the Treehouse Pantry, is just welcoming and enveloping all of us together and helping one another.
Well, thank you. Thank you for doing it. It's an important mission, and we're very grateful that you're out there serving our families. And we appreciate your being here with us today.
Thank you.
You can catch this and previous episodes of Springdale Today on YouTube, Facebook, or Instagram, and listen to the podcast on iTunes, Spotify, your favorite podcast app. Thank you for joining us for this conversation. We look forward to catching up with you next time on Springdale Today.
Springdale Today is a production of the Springdale Public Schools Communications Office.
The podcast is hosted by Mary Jordan and is produced and edited by Micah DeLacy.
Be sure to subscribe to Springdale Today for free on your favorite podcast platform.
And don't forget to follow Springdale Today on social media for episode updates
and behind-the-scenes conversations.
Thank you for listening. We hope you join us in the future as we continue to learn about the amazing stories happening in Springdale today.